3, 2, 1. And we're back. This is Draken and welcome to the 4th episode of my Factorio Let's Play. Where we last left off, we were building an automation system for building, I think it was inserters. After that, we were going to move on to transport belts. So, looking around, everything looks good. Let's pick up where we left off. So here, we're ready to start making copper cable. We just need, oh yes, one more inserter and a tiny bit more transport belt. We have the transport belt, but not enough iron for inserters. Luckily, we have these large amounts of iron and copper right here, giving us plenty. Wow, it's a lot of gold. Research still going well. We have a little bit of iron left, so that should be okay. Remember, we still need automation 2 for actually making the inserters themselves. While we wait, we can get started on the next step. So, after we were going to build this, we also need to set up production for transport belts. Transport belt required simply iron plate and iron gear wheels. Iron gear wheels are already being produced here, and this produces iron gear wheels so fast. I believe normal speed is 0.5 seconds. You know, a half a second is very quick. So we can actually just hook up transport belt production to this assembly machine of iron gears. All we need now are some iron plate, and we should be good. So I will just actually, there goes automation 2. Good. So I think I will bullet stream speed might be good to get. We can move this over here. And what we need now is a splitter here, and we should start getting some iron and a little excess copper, but oh well. Transport belt here, a few more inserters, and we should be good. Here's the splitter. Hook this up right here. Put the transport belt. Actually, can we hook this up back here? No, we cannot. So we do have to put this right there. Hook that up, and the iron and copper come down. So actually, looks like we're kind of running a little bit low on copper. I think I'll remove one of these because we do need copper down here for the copper cable. We do have the inserters finished, so we'll put one here to make sure it gets both the iron plate it needs as well as the gears. It's working. I'm going to box this one because we don't have any need right now for those. So make some electric poles, stick this here, and they'll start being boxed. Now I don't want an unlimited amount of transport belts. That'd be like 50 a stack. That'd be about 1,000 almost transport belts, and we don't have enough really iron or enough resources to really do that. So I'll limit it to about 200. That seems like a lot, but you use transport belt really fast. You can see here. So having it max about that, whenever we need some, we can just walk by, pick some up. We'll have basically easy access to transport belts. So iron, we still have plenty of iron production, although copper production actually could be increased. I'll take these transport belts we just got here and set those down for whenever we actually get the other resources we need to build this out. Just line it up with what's beneath us so that it lines up exactly, and that looks good. So I'll actually also move these electric poles here, so that'll work a little bit easier when the time comes. Stick that up there, and it works. So check on our power demands. Ooh, we're getting mighty close. If we look at 10 minutes, we're almost spiking out. So really soon after I get this finished, we should do this. But actually finishing, it's going to be very easy. If I pick up this assembly machine, I can use it to craft assembly machine 2. Just a few circuits. Actually, I'm gonna pick one or two up here. Put this back down, select the inserter, and voila, it works. So I'll put a separate box down because we don't get them getting full of one or the other. 50 inserters should be plenty. 50 per stack. Remember, the red means the machines can't put in there, so we're limiting the number without actually having to do any sort of fancy wiring or anything, which we can see how that works later. 64 transport belt. That's what I'd like to see. So next, what would be nice is expanding this process up here. Now that we have, or will have soon, easy access to lots of inserters, I can start putting the ones I've already collected down here. And that looks great. Do need 5 more long-handed and 5 more short inserters, as well as some furnaces. We already have 1, so 4 more should do the trick. Looks like inserters are not being made because no, this looks like we're not getting enough copper. So I'm gonna uncraft that. Now the copper is getting there. You can see it crafts quickly, gets transported over, and these are all very quick things to make. So if we really want to speed this up, we could add some fast inserters and such. I think I will do that for this, and then I'll put that in there. You can see it's just really waiting for resources to be put in. That's problematic that it's not enough gears. I'll put another fast inserter or two down to make sure I get this sped up, because it's pretty annoying to wait for things, and slow automation is almost as bad as no automation. So put these furnaces furnaces in here. That looks good. Craft 5 of those long cannon inserters, and while we wait on those, we can start hooking up the outputs here. The coal is all we need. There we go. Looks like they're working well. I do like symmetry, so that all looks great. A lot of copper should now be coming down here, so no more copper problems. And what we can work on next is actually increasing science production. We have one lab here, and it's taking a while for each technology to get researched. What's better than one lab? 10 labs. So, and also this thing up here, we're having to manually fill it every time. Just moving this down here, we have a lot more space, and I think that would be easier, more efficient, and in the long term, faster. So first we need labs. We'll start crafting 9 more labs, I think that should be. That's going to take a long time to craft. While we wait on those, we do have inserters and transport belts ready. So we can actually start bringing this iron and copper down here. So what do we need for red science? We need copper and iron gear wheels. So I'll actually go up here and salvage some of the resources from up here, because I think it just ran out of its last bit of resources. Take this. We'll leave the lab there for now. A little bit more research. And yes, so the iron gear wheels, if we stick that there, or here's fine. Make some. Ooh, we can't actually make any fast inserters. We can come back later and replace these if we find out that's really a bottleneck. Now, the great thing about assembly machines is that the one assembly machine for iron gear wheels could actually supply several assembly machines for red science packs. So if I build a few more assembly machines after I build the labs, I think I'll actually cancel some of these labs so that I can get what I need right now. The labs can wait a little bit, but we put some transport belt on here, and all these iron gears will be fed to all these assembly machines. Another thing I can do is I can actually have this feed in to here, and what I use is a smart inserter. I don't think I've actually crafted any of those yet, but what smart inserters are useful for is several things. One, you can... Uh-oh. That's monster sound. Where are the monsters? Destruction. So we lost a furnace and took some damage to an inserter. Where did they come from? Over here. So, here's our first encounter with the monsters. So, a good stopgap measure would be to craft some turrets, except we don't have that research yet. So, right now, I am going to craft some better guns. A submachine gun and a shotgun are both good guns, and the pistol isn't really that useful. Submachine gun will auto-target, so if you just hold down the fire button, it'll, like how I stood there. But the shotgun shoots wherever your cursor is, so I could easily destroy my own equipment if I'm not careful, which makes the SMG useful in my base. But the shotgun is actually very powerful, especially against large groups of enemies. So I'll make sure to use that when I'm actually going out there and fighting if I ever want to destroy that base. But I do think I need a little bit more research, because researchers like bullet shooting speed and things like that will actually make my attack much more effective when I actually get enough technology to do that. Then I'll have a lot more damage and hopefully won't die. You also notice I don't have any armor. I don't have the research for that yet, so things like that will be very useful in the future. I think I'm actually just going to take a pistol and put it in my inventory. I will build some shotgun shells and some more regular magazines, and we should be good. And And one thing I did craft is a repair pack. This repair pack does what it says. It repairs things that are damaged. So using that, I fixed what was destroyed, and we should be back to normal on that account. I'll just have to keep an eye out for any warning signs, and that'll be good for now. So what I want here is I want some science packs. Now, 3 of these are going to be necessary, maybe more actually, for crafting, having 10 science labs being, using the red science packs from these science machines. So, that's why we need 3 of them, not 1, because even though these are just assembly machine 1, so they're not that fast, and you need a lot to get it to work correctly, because otherwise you can have 10 science labs, but just only 2 or 3 at a time will be turned on, and the rest will just basically go to waste. Ooh, what happened? Coal. Why? Okay, that was weird. I don't know why that happened. If I just clear this belt, you can see already how annoying it is. You have to clear the belts and you lose all the access to the resources for a little bit. In a bigger factory, I'd have to go hunt them down, but we don't have a bigger factory yet. This is waiting on actually the inserter, so this is why we need some fast, maybe 2 fast inserters, 3. Back to where I was talking about the smart inserter. So the smart inserter can be used in wire networks to grab things that like you can set up an electric pole, wire from here to an electric pole, and an electric pole to a chest, and say if the chest has 50 iron in it, then work. If it has less than 50 iron, don't work. Things like that. The logistic network, whenever we get a logistic system, little robots will come do our every bidding, which is very fun to see and have work. Or the simple one was just a filter. Whenever it'll say, I only pick up copper. I only pick up copper and iron. In this case, we only want copper. Whoops. Because we only need copper for the red science. The iron is coming through here. One thing we do need though is to actually fix this, and this like this will make sure that that doesn't work either. Okay. No. Okay. This looks really messed up. Let's see if it works though. It does work. I'll make it a little nicer. Putting it there. Yes, now the... whoops. As you can see, my shotgun can damage friendly buildings. What? That's not me. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Run fast. Okay. This has become a problem. It's a problem I need to take care of now. That was easily fixable, but it could quickly become annoying, especially if I'm exploring or something. So, research has stopped, so going and waiting for turrets is not an option. So the only other option we have, while we actually let's get this set up. I would really like to have research going while we're defending ourselves against aliens, because if we fail, which is a very likely possibility, I don't have many technologies to increase my shooting speed, and I also don't have any advanced ammos or guns or anything like that. But we could win. We'll just have to see. But while we go fight them, I'll get this science set up so we are ready to go, and research can begin, and it should be very quick. Build the last 3 of our 10 science labs. Oh, an interesting fact, you'll notice that these science labs all have an individual name, like Lab... I don't know how to say that. I'll go this one. Pierre Gouffler. These are the names of the subscribers that I think it was Kickstarter helped fund the game. So, this works for labs and train stations. I don't know of any other buildings it works for. Maybe there are, maybe there aren't. But If you're wondering why these labs all have different names and later train stations do, that's because they are the names of the backers that pledged, I think, $5 or something like that. You get their name in the game. There you go. So now we'll set this up. That's a lot of labs. We'll use a lot of power, which means we probably should upgrade our power immediately after we actually use a lot of power. Actually, there's the last lab. Last thing we need to do is hook up the production output to the belt, and boom, there you go. More being produced, and it works. One thing I will do here is forgot to put in some of that so that we can make sure we have enough iron gears if we ever need to expand or something. But hopefully this will feed all of them. If it doesn't, we can always add more assembly machines. But yes, electricity is decreasing. That's only with 4 of them on. There goes 6 of them on. Yes, it's probably going to get bad. But that's working now, so that should be good. I am going to save my game here because if you die, it goes back to the last autosave, which happens like every 2 minutes. But just saving, in general, is a good practice. But actually, I look at the time, and it looks like we're out of time for this episode. So we set up science this episode, got it working, defended against 2 monster attacks, and next time we're going to go try to fight this base, and maybe after we hopefully defeat them, expand our research capabilities, maybe start looking into getting some green science done as well. Thank you. This has been Andraken. See you again.